Black Ops 6 Zombies has had a ton of leaks in the last few weeks, and a ton of new information has been found in the game files of Modern Warfare 3, telling us more details about the upcoming Black Ops 6 Zombies. From Gobblegum to round-based zombies returning to some classic Call of Duty characters, let's talk about all of the information that we know about this year's upcoming Black Ops 6 Zombies. So let's go ahead and start off by talking about the first thing that we know about this year's Call of Duty is it's bringing back a few Call of Duty Zombies classics. We are getting both Brutus and Klaus as characters returning in Black Ops 6. Brutus was the prison warden, most well known for being in Mob of the Dead and Blood of the Dead. Notably, Brutus tried to trap the Primus team but failed, ending up in an endless torment cycle for the rest of time, which just goes to show some people just can't break free from their work. But this year's other familiar character is Klaus. Klaus was a companion that was a buildable ally in Cold War Zombies, and he will return in Black Ops 6. However, it appears he returns with muscle and flesh attached to his robotic body, similar to the synthetic flesh of Ted from the map Transit. Klaus, however, was a companion you had to build by getting his battery from No Man's Land and his hands still choking someone to death in a hotel room. To get Klaus's hands back, you needed a zombie with brain rot to pick them up for you and then bring them to you. Because, you know, when you're rebuilding a murderous robot, nothing is ever straightforward. But Ted, Klaus, and the map Transit all tie into one of the maps I'm going to talk about coming here at release for Black Ops 6 Zombies, so make sure you're sticking around. And alongside these two awesome characters who we're getting in Black Ops 6 Zombies, we're also seeing the return of Gobblegum. Now, Gobblegum is polarizing to some people in the Call of Duty community. It was originally made as an upgrade for Call of Duty Zombies you could buy with real-world money. It was kind of one of the first microtransactions Call of Duty ever actually made. But these upgrades would also significantly help in the process of trying to complete Easter eggs or play through the entire story of certain zombies maps. However, later on down the line, Call of Duty introduced what were called whimsical Gobblegums, which would give you kind of almost style over substance effects, because even in a zombie apocalypse, humor mattered. And I mean, to this day, my favorite Gobblegum is Newtonian Negation, where zombies would fly up to the ceiling or up into the sky instead of falling over on the ground when they die. And while Gobblegum was never necessary to play the zombies maps, they greatly improved the gameplay experience for people as a whole when you use them. Now, there is definitely a right way and a wrong way to do Gobblegums in Black Ops 6 Zombies, and if the Gobblegums are part of a microtransaction, then it is automatically the wrong way. Now, if there's something that you can unlock by just playing the games, I think that might be something a little bit better and a little bit more appealing to the Call of Duty community. But let's go ahead and jump over to the two maps that we actually do know are coming at release of Call of Duty's Black Ops 6 Zombies this year, and we're going to talk about the one we actually know about the least first. So the map we actually know about the least is called Terminus Island. Now, Terminus should be very familiar to Call of Duty Zombie players because Terminus Outcomes is the name of the mercenary group that we see in Modern Warfare Zombies, set up by a former member of the security detail on Terminus Island. I mean, talk about moving up in the world. From security guard to leader of a shadow organization trying to unleash a zombie apocalypse and take over the world, pretty good step up. However, Terminus Island is an island prison complex and research complex that is also officially named Black Site 13. Now, Black Site 13 should sound pretty familiar to the Call of Duty Zombies fans out there because Black Site 13 was the name of the prison where all of the members of Requiem were sent at the end of Cold War Zombies storyline. However, the leaks for this island are pretty interesting. The island is part of Project Janus, a program run by the director of Project Requiem, Eddie Richtofen. And you probably didn't know that Project Janus has a secret meaning in the naming. So in Black Ops 6 Zombies, Project Janus has a secret meaning. Janus is actually a Roman god. He was the god associated with doorways and passageways, windows and doors, and access between realms. More specifically, he was the god of the passageway between the realm of the living and the realm of the dead, and this is likely why Janus was chosen as the name for the project. However, Terminus Island ties in as part of Project Janus. Via documents we find in Modern Warfare Zombies, Terminus Island was only officially operating until 1993, when the facility was shut down following an unknown incident. Now, from what we know about Terminus Island, the island is the site of an underground prison complex run by a warden responsible for escorting members of the Requiem team further down underground into the research facility where Project Janus is trying to be advanced. Now, that warden, I can't confirm at this time, but likely is the same warden that we see as a pre-order bonus for Black Ops 6, helping to kind of tie in and bring back that warden character that a lot of people love from the original zombie storyline. One other thing that is important to note here is that the entire Requiem team at Terminus Island reports to the warden of Terminus Island, and he reports to the director of Project Janus, Eddie Richtofen, tying back in that original storyline with the new rebooted one. Now, the other map we have coming this year for Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies ties into one of our characters from Modern Warfare Zombies, it ties in Klaus, it ties in Ted and Transit, the map from Call of Duty Zombies. The name of this map is actually the same name as the town. The town and the map where this story will take place in Black Ops 6 Zombies is Liberty Falls. Now, Liberty Falls has some pretty interesting things about it. First, it's in West Virginia, and the character Miller from Modern Warfare Zombies was a child living in the town of Liberty Falls when everything quote-unquote happened. We don't have any context about what happened in this town, but we do know that she was part of this. The town of Liberty Falls is a made-up town set on the Potomac River in West Virginia. Now, one thing to note is that the military and the government came in to the town of Liberty Falls and built massive 50-feet walls of concrete and steel around the entire town following an incident. Now, the incident that caused the walls to go up in the first place and the town to get evacuated in the first place was a nearby power plant had one of their towers collapse in West Virginia in this fictional town of Liberty Falls. Now, in real life, there is a town and a power plant in West Virginia that actually did have one of its towers collapse. The power plant that this happened to was called the Pleasantville Power Station. Now, this is a real place, and I'm going to show you it on the map here. Now, there are two other notable things that have been leaked about this town so far. The first is that it has a major railway coming through it. Now, we know this from actually looking at the Black Ops 6 poster that's on their website. You can see here, there is a railway, and it's somewhere in West Virginia. Now, if you go back and look at that same map, what's running right next to the Pleasantville Power Station? That's right, some train tracks. Now, if we even go a little bit to the right here, not even what it would be a mile in real life, there is a bunch of roads here called Green's Run. Now, notably, Green Run was the map in Call of Duty from the map Transit. Now, there's a bunch of connections here to the map Transit. Now, first off, if we zoom in on the map here, we see there's a church here called Willow Island Baptist Church. Now, if you look at this church, it looks eerily similar to the exact same church we saw in the map Transit. Now, based on the information we've had leaked so far, there is a railway running through this fictional town of Liberty Falls. There is a power plant which had a tower collapse. There is a massive wall built around the area, but when we line all of this up on the map with the actual locations that it would be in the real world in West Virginia, in less than a 1 mile radius from our starting point, we have the church from Transit and Green Run, the bus route from Transit, which indicates to us that this is likely going to be a remake of the map Transit set in this fictional town of Liberty Falls. Now, a couple other things to note about this map is the original map Transit had the bus driver of Ted. Now, Ted has not been found anywhere in the game file so far yet for Black Ops 6 Zombies. However, we already do have a robot with some type of human flesh synthetic muscle on his body that would fit the description of a bus driver for the map Transit who's already in the rebooted universe. That is Klaus. Klaus has synthetic muscle and skin on his body already. We know he's one of the pre-order bonuses for Black Ops 6. Based on the information that we have about Liberty Falls, and the fact that once you rebuilt him in Black Ops Cold War, he was very compliant and your friend, it's not a stretch to think that Eddie Richtofen reprogrammed Klaus to be a bus driver for the troops and the scientists in the local town of Liberty Falls once they took control of the area. Now, there's a couple other things that I want to talk about. From the Cold War files and about this town that we have that we really didn't know what it was at the time, it states that they were bringing in underground mining equipment and underground tunneling equipment. They're tunneling something under the town of Liberty Falls, and the question is why? We know that Terminus Island is set in an underground prison with an underground research complex for the original members of Team Requiem. So something is important that is kept underground in both locations, both in Liberty Falls and on Terminus Island. It all ties into Project Janus, which is that realm between the living and the dead, and it all ties back into Eddie Richtofen. So it brings the question, what is his plan, and why is Eddie Richtofen not mentioned at all in Modern Warfare Zombies other than a brief 1 or 2 lines that we found in the game files? He's called the director, but that's all we get. And then you look at the only other piece of information we've got on Modern Warfare Zombies relating back to Black Ops 6 Zombies is this one video that we get right here that was from Dr. Gray to Ava Jansen talking about how she was, so to speak, born off the different Requiem team members' DNA. But what's important about her video is the date on the video. It is in 1996, 3 years after Terminus Island is officially shut down, indicating she either broke out of Terminus Island along with the other members of Requiem, or they were let out to do a job. But regardless, she's in an actual laboratory at this point, so she's somehow regained her previous kind of staffing position of where she was before her arrest. Now this all kind of builds a very big narrative story, but tell me in the comments down below, are you as excited about Liberty Falls possibly being a remake of the map Transit as I am? Because the idea of Transit getting remade is fantastic to me. So let me know down below what you think, and if you want to know anything about the Black Ops 6 multiplayer, you'll want to click on this video right here. Or if you want to know about the Black Ops 6 campaign, you'll want to click on this video on the other side. And until next time, I am IceBurgz, your Call of Duty informant. Stay frosty.